Welcome to day 4 in our study of the book of Ecclesiastes. Our lesson today is entitled, I Will Test You with Pleasure. We'll be reading verses 1 through 11 of Ecclesiastes chapter 2. I said in my heart, Come now, I will test you with pleasure. Enjoy yourself. But behold, this also was vanity. I said of laughter, It is mad, and of pleasure, what use is it? I search with my heart how to cheer my body with wine, my heart still guiding me with wisdom, and how to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was good for the children of man to do under heaven during the few days of their life. I made great works. I built houses and planted vineyards for myself. I made myself gardens and parks, and planted them all kinds of fruit trees. I made myself pools from which to water the forest of growing trees. I bought male and female slaves and had slaves who were born in my house. I had also great possessions of herds and flocks, more than any who had been before me in Jerusalem. I also gathered for myself silver and gold and the treasure of kings and provinces. I got singers, both men and women, and many concubines, the delight of the sons of man. So I became great and surpassed all who were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me, and whatever my eyes desired, I did not keep from them. I kept my heart from no pleasure, for my heart found pleasure in all my toil, and this was my reward for all my toil. Then I considered all that my hands had done, and the toil I had expended in doing it. And behold, all was vanity and a striving after wind, and there was nothing to be gained under the sun. Imagine a place where the sun always shines. No clouds, no rain, no snow, no storms to interrupt your plans. Just sunshine all the time. Doesn't that sound wonderful? There are places like that in the world. In fact, there is a place the size of the United States, including Alaska and Hawaii, that fits just that description. Do you know what it's called? The Sahara Desert in North Africa. 3.6 million square miles of desert. It rarely rains, 0 to 3 inches of rain per year, with some regions going years without rain. You'll almost never have to cancel your plans due to inclement weather. Ah, pleasure and enjoyment. Wouldn't it be nice to have that 24/7, 365? Imagine what it would be like to get paid for doing things we only experience occasionally, or even once in a lifetime, or perhaps only exist in your bucket list. What if you could get paid to sleep? How about eating chocolate or drinking coffee for a living? There are people who do that, you know. NASA hires people to do sleep studies, and you can rate hotels by sleeping in them. EachNight.com hired 5 people in 2021 and paid them $1,500 to nap while they researched their results. According to SimplyHired.com, the average salary of a professional coffee drinker is $58,664 a year. Matt Caputo's job in Salt Lake City is all about eating chocolate, about 1/4 pound a day. Average pay for chocolate testers? $21,000 a year, but the potential to make up to $100,000 a year. How about those bucket list experiences? Zip lining, skydiving, balloon rides, race car driving, mountain climbing, running with the bulls. Perhaps something a little more sedentary. How about just sitting on the beach relaxing 24/7? Maybe that favorite band that you like to hear, touring with them for years at a time. How about reading for a living? Well, you get the idea. things that are fun once, but not full-time. It seems that few of us want that much pleasure. In the end, it just becomes a job, and that's what we're looking for an escape in the first place. Solomon begins our section today by proclaiming in verse 1, I said in my heart, come now, I will test you with pleasure. Enjoy yourself. But behold, this also was vanity. Well, maybe he just didn't try the right kind. He tried laughter, pleasure, and wine in search of pleasure. What we might call a good time. It was party central, and a good time was had by all. While he was at it, he added a little wine to that recipe, all the while trying to keep his wits about him with wisdom. I wonder how many through the ages have told themselves that taking in alcohol won't harm body, mind, and soul. If only the graveyards could speak of those whose lives came to a sudden and tragic end as a direct or indirect result of alcohol. His conclusion? You guessed it, vanity. Consider what Solomon wrote in Proverbs 20, verse 1. Wine is a mocker, strong drink a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. And again in Proverbs 23, verses 29 through 35. Who has woe? Who has sorrow? Who has strife? Who has complaining? Who has wounds without cause? Who has redness of eyes? Those who tarry long over wine, those who go to try mixed wine. Do not look at wine when it is red, when it sparkles in the cup and goes down smoothly. In the end, it bites like a serpent and stings like an adder. Your eyes will see strange things, and your heart utter perverse things. You will be like one who lies down in the midst of the sea, like one who lies on the top of a mast. They struck me, you will say, but I was not hurt. They beat me, but I did not feel it. When shall I awake? I must have another drink. In the first part of chapter 31 of Proverbs, we read King Lemuel's mother declare to him in verses 4 and 5. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine or for rulers to take strong drink, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed and pervert the rights of all the afflicted. One wonders at the wisdom of Solomon when he wrote in Proverbs 25:16, If you have found honey, eat only enough for you, lest you have your fill of it and vomit. And again in chapter 25 and verse 27 through 28 of Proverbs, it is not good to eat much honey, nor is it glorious to seek one's own glory. A man without self-control is like a city broken into without walls. One doesn't have to dig too deep into these Proverbs to grasp that Solomon is not writing strictly about honey, but what honey represents here, and that is pleasure. Learning about self-control is one of the paramount lessons of life. Imagine that. Nothing was denied him. It never rained on Solomon's parade. Still, in the end, it brought nothing of lasting profit to him. On the outside, it may have appeared a success, but inside, there was an emptiness. Whatever else may be said of laughter and pleasure and wine, to think that a life devoted to such things would bring about happiness, fulfillment, and profit to one's life is just as Solomon found, vanity, a chasing after wind. Do you think that mankind will forever be learning this lesson about too much pleasure in one's life? And Lord willing, let's meet here again tomorrow for another lesson in the book of Ecclesiastes.